Hey everybody. Now I recently did a food video on some no-cook food, and then shortly after that I actually got a friend of mine got in touch with me, another ultralight backpacking buddy that I met online. His name's Valentin and he's a really nice guy and he's got a cool channel. So this is a collaboration video, so I will put a link in the description below to his video to check out a recipe of his. This recipe is going to be focusing on different hacks to a classic recipe, and all of which that are I have here are going to be vegan. If you've seen my other food videos, you will notice that that is the food that I take with me when I'm backpacking because that's what I normally eat. All right. So yeah, if you're a meat eater, you can check out his video. I believe he's doing something with bacon. So yeah, go and check that out. Alright, but let's get down to this classic recipe. I'm going to show you a few different things you can do to mix things up. I have a secret ingredient too that I've been very happy with, that I've been using for the past year or so, that really has kicked it up a notch for those of you that are Futurama fans. Boom! So here we go. The classic macaroni or pasta that you can just boil up with some water and then add. There's all sorts of things. In my last video I even included a little pesto jar, right, that you can repackage and take some vegan or vegetarian pesto with you to add with the pasta. That's one thing you can do. But of course, the classic is that with tomatoes, right, with some kind of tomato sauce. Now some people will take some tomato paste in a little tube. I think it's okay. I actually prefer the powder because it tends to have more flavor. The tomato paste is kind of plain. You have to then add a lot more different things into it to kind of modify it, to improve it. So I tend to go for the powdered stuff, which I guess I'll go to first. So one of the first easiest little options you can get is this is just a instant soup pack, and it's a tomato. They say basil, but I mean, I think they like wave a basil plant kind of in front of the factory, but you can add your own herbs and spices and stuff. Obviously, you can take a little container with herbs and spices and add to your preferences. But yeah, so it's fairly straightforward, right? You boil up some water and the pasta. And by the way, you can get pasta. This is in Sweden. This is a snabbmakaroni, or fast macaroni, which it boils and it's ready in 3 minutes when you boil it. And it's also vitamin enriched too, if you can get that. And if you're vegan, B vitamins are something that you want to get more of. But yeah, so you have your just standard, a soup packet that you can then mix into the water. And that starchy water, by the way, that pasta water, will help to thicken up the sauce naturally, which is nice to get kind of a creamy consistency. Right, so there's that. Now they even have, because it's becoming more and more popular to be vegan or vegetarian. This is a vegan. I checked the ingredients of this. I've tried several different versions of this, and another thing too is when you put together your own food. Obviously, you would take the pasta and repackage it in like a Ziploc bag. This one, if you want, you could repackage this in a Ziploc bag because it's several different portions. It's 3 to 4 portions, so you can spoon in however much you need, right? But this is a vegetarian bolognese sauce, so it has soy grinds in it, or soy mince in it already, right? So you're gonna get your protein kick from there. You're not gonna get so much from that, but as you'll see with my secret ingredient, which will be no surprise to some of your more hardcore or long-term vegans out there. But yeah, to get your protein in. But actually, you'd be surprised. Pasta does have some protein in it, but it's the carbs you're looking for when you're doing things like long-distance backpacking. All right, but yeah, all this stuff I bought at the supermarket. And like I said, you can even find some good vegan, vegetarian, dried foods at the supermarket that are ready to go, and much cheaper than your stuff you buy at a camping outdoors store. That's going to be more expensive in general, so this will save you some cash too. So okay, next up is you have some sun-dried tomatoes. All right, these are the dried ones. And I generally tend to prefer these over the ones in oil, but a good argument can be made for the ones that are in oil. The ones in oil are going to have you're going to be soaked in oil, so you're going to have the extra calories and flavor too. Some people argue these taste better than just the plain dried ones, and then you get the oil too. So you would repackage this obviously in like a plastic jar or like a Ziploc baggie, maybe double baggie, you know, for this, right, so it doesn't make a mess. Yeah, so I've taken this before, but I like the 9 times out of 10 I'll take the sun-dried ones out of oil, just the dried ones, because this is way too convenient. You don't even need a knife. You can just like rip this up with your fingers and throw it into the pasta whenever you boil it up there, and you're good to go. So that's another way. And if for those of you that have been subscribers to my channel for a while, if you look at my most popular video, you remember too, there are other ingredients obviously too that you could add in conjunction with these. You can also add some dried mushrooms. You can add some different spice mixes and so on and so forth. But now, on to the secret ingredient, right? Which is no secret to you, like I said, vegans in the know. So here we have some nutritional yeast. This stuff is amazing. I'm a huge fan of this stuff now. It adds a flavor. It's like a very umami, savory flavor. It makes it creamier too. So it kind of gives it like a nice consistency along with the flavor. And get this too, I made sure to bring this up here to show you because you may not even believe how much protein is in here. You got plenty of vitamins and minerals, but also if you look per 100 grams, you have 51 grams of protein. So this packs a protein, kick. It's, it got plenty of protein, lots of flavor. So you can obviously just take this and put this into a little Ziploc or a little container. You see here what it looks like. It looks like fish food. That's what I've heard people describe it as, kind of fish flakes, right? But I'm telling you, it's delicious. I love this stuff. I go through quite a lot of this at home, and also it's great for on the trail. You can make kind of a mac and cheese too if you also take some. There's a trick from my buddy Ryan from Australia who went backpacking with me last summer. If you take mashed potato mix, like powdered potatoes, and mix some nutritional yeast, it makes a kind of creamy sauce that's good for like a mock mac and cheese, right? But for like a kind of mock cheesy bolognese, right? With sun-dried tomatoes, yeah, that's pretty good. So like I said, it's another take on like a classic, staple of backpacking, just your plain old boiled pasta, right? It's a blank palette that you can add lots of different things, and you can definitely add lots of flavor, lots of nutrition, cheap, easy. What more can you ask for, right? Okay, well, that's about it. I'll keep this short and sweet. I'm looking forward to see Valentine's video, even though I don't eat bacon anymore. I will readily admit bacon tastes great. So yeah, that's all I'll say about his. I hope I have it right that he is, that's one of his ingredients. But okay, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful or interesting or enjoyable to watch. Happy trails to you out there. Eat well while you're out there on the trail, and goodbye.